Tuvasa the Sunlit versus Samut, Voice of Dissent. Well, we've got an answer to anything our opponent does with Oblivion Ring as well as a Soul Ring, the only artifact in the deck, excluding Copy Artifact, which is an enchantment that copies an artifact, as you might assume. We'll get into Soul Ring on turn 1 and pass it over to our opponent. Tuvasa the Sunlit is a Bant Enchantress commander, 1/1. It gets a +1 buff for each enchantment we control, and whenever we cast the first enchantment on our turn, we draw a card. We'll just slow roll from here, I think. Yeah, I won't get down the Greater Auramancy until we can draw with it, with Tuvasa. Samut, Voice of Dissent is a Naya commander. It costs 5 in Gruul for a 3/4 with Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance and Haste. Gives our opponent's other creatures haste. And for white and tap, untap another target creature. Now then we'll go in for a white source here. And then we are on Sunpetal Grove. And we'll get down our commander. Noteworthy that we have made 0 use of this Soul Ring thus far. Haven't wanted to, well, actually haven't needed to get into anything yet. It is mana that we'll make use of if our opponent doesn't do anything. Yes, that is fine with me. We'll get down Greater Auramancy and see what we draw. Other enchantments we control have Shroud, and enchanted creatures we control have Shroud, and that is a very lucky draw because Sterling Grove and Greater Auramancy in play gives every enchantment that we have in play Shroud, because Sterling Grove also reads other enchantments we control have Shroud. That will make it very difficult for our opponent to wipe enchantments off the field unless they have something like an Austere command. And green does have some enchantment board wipes as well. Yeah, they're struggling on mana by the looks of it. We will, I think we might have enough mana to just go for a Dig Through Time. That's 8 mana, 2, 4, 6, 7 and then 8 from the Delve. Yeah, looks like we just hold up Dig Through Time this turn. Getting into Cavern of Souls, they may have been worried about counter magic. I don't think we have a single counter. Spell in this deck. Let me look through the instants. No, we only have 5 instants in the deck, none of which are counter spells. I wanted to do something different with this deck, and I didn't want to have any counter magic in it. Maybe to my detriment, but I don't want to just jam counter magic into every blue deck I ever make. Dig Through Time, look at the top 7 cards of our library, and we get to add 2 of those cards to our hand. Now then, Thassa is, we have Estrid's Invocation as well. I think Enchantress's Presence and Thassa are the way to go here. And then everything else can go on the bottom in any order. And our opponent's doing something at the end of their turn as well. They are flashing in Samut, maybe. Okay, that is what they're going for. Maybe as a rattlesnake effect to keep us from swinging in. Yeah, we'll get down the Enchantress's Presence first. That will draw a card with Tuvasa. And then when we play a spell with Thassa, but now I'm just thinking, do we want to get down the O-Ring? We'll get down a Forest, definitely. I think Oblivion Ring on the Samut is not terrible. No, we'll get down Thassa. We can get, well, we'll not only get a card draw, we would have got a card draw from the O-Ring as well. But Thassa is Thassa is not a good blocker because we don't have Devotion. I was thinking that Thassa, being an indestructible 5/5, could block Samut very well, but I've only just added Thassa to the deck literally seconds before playing this game, and I'm only just realising that we're not likely to have Devotion in this deck. It's still a really good card because it can give Tuvasa unblockable. But we'll hold back Tuvasa for now because I don't know if Samut is going to get commander damage off on us this turn. Can be a very explosive commander. Oh, Bear Umbra. Bear Umbra's +2/+2. Yes. +2/+2 and untap all lands when it swings in. We can get around the totem armor with O-Ring. Yeah, we'll just let that land. This is going to be 10 commander damage. Getting down the bounce land, which is about to untap. So that is 2, 4, 6 mana our opponent's going to have. 7 cards in hand. Now then, are we going to regret not blocking here? If they manage to get Samut up to 10 power, it's still not commander damage. I think we'll risk not blocking here. No, it looks like it's just 10 commander damage on us. Oh, Biogenic Ooze. Really like this card. I haven't picked it up yet. I think I might make some kind of green deck to shove that into a really heavy ramp deck that we can pour lots of mana into with this. Yeah, Biogenic Ooze is really good. We definitely have to go for O-Ring next turn. Maybe we go for, what is the enchantment where we can dump X into the enchantment and exile multiple things? Biogenic Ooze getting multiple +1/+1 counters. Got one set from the Aurum Reef on both the oozes, and then another one from Biogenic Ooze itself. Puts a +1/+1 counter on every ooze at the end step. Enlightened Tutor at the end of our opponent's turn, and we'll see if we can find that. It's an Eldrazi enchantment. Quarantine Field is what we'll go for. So we'll have to go 3, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, we do have enough, so we'll go for that. And we'll scry what we just searched for on top of our library. Play the Forest and we'll get this Quarantine Field underway. This will draw us a couple of cards. So 3 goes into X twice. We'll draw a couple of cards, one from our commander and one from the Enchantress's Presence. And then we get into Eternal Witness, which is always good to have. Out comes the Quarantine Field with 3 isolation counters on it, and that means we can get rid of our opponent's commander, the Biogenic Ooze, and the token. And they'll need 2 mana to get Samut out again. And they're facing down commander damage as it happens now. Had we have swung in last turn, we could have made Tuvasa unblockable with Thassa last turn, but I didn't know what our opponent was going to do with their Samut, because that double strike is really good, and if they can buff it up, they can get commander damage off on us really quickly. But they'd be at 18 commander damage had we have committed to that plan. The main reason Thassa's in the deck is to make Tuvasa unblockable, and that's a means of getting good commander damage through to our opponent. We get a scry at the beginning of our turn. I wouldn't mind a Temple of the False God. That is a bunch more mana for us. Then we can go for copy artifact onto the Sol Ring, the only artifact in play. That'll draw us a couple of cards. And it also pays for itself. And then I think Eternal Witness onto the Dig Through Time is okay. And then it's just swinging in with Tuvasa again. That will put our opponent on 19 points of commander damage. Would have been the end of the game had I have swung in previously. They can go for the Mystifying Maze. We need to... I don't know if they fixed this or not, but yeah, we'll send Tuvasa into exile. Let me just make sure I know what this does. Exile a target attacking creature. At the beginning of the next end step, return it. Yeah, I forgot all about the Mystifying Maze. So we'll just allow that to happen. If we had a means of enchanting Tuvasa, then we could give her Shroud, because enchanted creatures we control have Shroud, says Greater Auramancy, and then they wouldn't be able to target it with the Mystifying Maze. I wonder if what's that Canopy Aura? I just type that into my phone here. Where are we? I must recommend, I'm not affiliated with anybody and I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but there is an app that's really good called Decked. That is Deck and then ED on the end, and I think it's available on Android. I've got it on iOS, and it's a very, very good app. What is it called? Canopy... Not Canopy Vista, Canopy Cover, I think. Yes, Canopy Cover is a good aura. If I remember, if I catch this in editing, I'll throw it up on the screen. An enchantment aura for 2 mana in mono green. The enchanted creature can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. And it also has hexproof. What on earth is that? Knocking over my drink nearly there. Let's see what this is. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player produces... Okay, so that doubles up all of our lands. Do I want my opponent to have that? Well, there's nothing... Yeah, we'd have to tap down both our blue sources to get Dig Through Time going. So we couldn't counter it even if we got into a counter spell. Going for our Dig Through Time here. And Wasteland I think we want. Yeah, Dig Through Time and Mesa... Not Dig Through Time. Wasteland and Mesa Enchantress I think are okay here. And everything else can go back in any order. And I don't think we want to Mystical Tutor either. I don't think we really care about that. Land we will not have because we're going to play Wasteland this turn. Okay, Wild Growth. Let's go Wasteland, Mystifying Maze, because they may well just scoop to that. No point in playing out the game any longer than it needs to be played out. They can't get down the Mystifying Maze anyway, but yeah, they scoop to that. That must have been their what they were kind of hinging the game on. We could have made Tuvasa unblockable there with the Thassa and then got through to our opponent for probably lethal actually. If we'd gone for Mesa Enchantress and just for the card draw and then gone for Journey to Nowhere and Wild Growth, that would have put Tuvasa up to a 9/9. And then what? Yeah, that would have been commander damage, wouldn't it? So did we even have... Well, yeah, thanks to our opponent's creature, we actually had the mana to do that. So playing those 2 enchantments, then using Thassa to make it unblockable. Although we wouldn't have needed to make it unblockable, would we, because of Journey to Nowhere on that creature. So scratch that. We had the win anyway, but they scooped to the Mystifying Maze being blown up because they were nowhere near their commander. So managed to get out a victory against Samut. I hope you all enjoyed that Tuvasa game. Haven't played her in a while, so hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.